Welcome back, everyone. Week 5 NFL previews. This video is for the game between the New York Jets and the San Diego Chargers. This game will take place in San Diego. The Chargers coming in with a record of 3-1. The Jets with a record of 1-3, having lost 3 straight games to NFC North opponents. So now they travel west, and Geno Smith has been a talk for the Jets all week, and not in a good way, okay? Maybe not developing to the extent that some people in the media and the fans we're hoping. All right, he's still turning the ball over at too high of a rate. This is a team for the Jets that when they can stick to running the ball and when they can establish the run, particularly Chris Ivory, a very high yard per carry average. But what's been happening here is they've gotten behind. They've turned the ball over, and they haven't been able to establish that run consistently. Can they do that against San Diego? I question whether they can, because I truly think San Diego is going to come into this game and say, we don't run the football very well because our top 2 running backs are out, Ryan Matthews and Danny Woodhead. We have Donald Brown. He's a nice player, but no one runs the ball on the Jets. So why don't we just come out, spread them out, and shred them with a passing game? I think that's the way Mike McCoy is going to go. Mike McCoy is very good, all right, at coming up with individual game plans based on the defense he's playing, much like he did against the Broncos, where he sort of played keep away from them last year, and much like he did this year with the Seahawks in the same way. I think with the Jets, he spreads them out and lets Philip Rivers do his thing. Rivers is one of the few guys in the NFL that truly passes to the open man, doesn't get locked in on receivers, and takes what the defense gives him. I think that's a bad matchup for the Jets because one thing the Jets are not good at is forcing turnovers. And if you're going to let Philip Rivers, without the threat of forcing turnovers, sit back there and pick you apart, he will shred you. And in particular, the depth of the Jets secondary, I think, is going to be tested this week. And if I'm a fan of the Jets, which I am, okay, I'm not too excited about that opportunity because the deeper you go in that depth chart for the Jets in the secondary, the worse it is. So I think out of all the teams they've played here in this stretch, they played 3 very good quarterbacks and very good teams. I think this might be the toughest game for them in particular. It's on the road. You have the criticism with Geno Smith. All right. You have a defense that yardage-wise is very good. Look, this Jet defense is good. San Diego is not going to be able to run the ball on them. Okay. But I don't think they're going to try. Okay. So outside of the Jets forcing turnovers on Philip Rivers, which is not completely out of the question, just not likely with the level he's playing at for Philip Rivers at home to blow a game against the Jets. But if they're able to force turnovers and able to keep the game close enough where they can stick to the run and have Geno pick his spots down the field, I think the Jets can have a chance in this one. It's a lot of ifs, though, for the Jets, and a lot of things I can almost definitely foresee happening for San Diego. So I think there's a tough matchup for the Jets. Rex Ryan's defense tends to play better when you think the chips are down. Geno Smith is a guy who you heard whispers when he was coming out of school at West Virginia that maybe couldn't handle the media pressure. Based on his reactions this week, I'm not ready to give up on the guy. He's still a quarterback early in his development. He's in a very non-forgiving city, obviously, in New York. I think they're making the right move by sticking with him and not going to Michael Vick. I wouldn't mind them, though, if the game is close, going to Vick in the middle of the game with the understanding that Geno will be the starting quarterback even if Michael Vick replaces him. I don't see the harm in that, and I don't know why John Idzik and Rex Ryan would either. But, we'll see how that quarterback battle unfolds. But in this game in particular, I like San Diego, all right, to win the game outright, but I like the Jets plus 6.5 because with all the things that have been going wrong with this Jets offense, if you look at the scores against Green Bay, Chicago, and Detroit, none of those games have been blowouts, and they've all been hanging in the balance in the second half. And it's going to come down to in all 3 of those games that the Jets have lost in a row, it's come down to a big drive in the second half where the opposing team has ate up a lot of clock and cashed it in with a touchdown. Can the Jets prevent that from happening in this one against San Diego? I think will be the difference in the game. I don't think they do it, but I think they keep it close enough. The Jets plus 6.5, but San Diego to win the game outright. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks as always for listening. Have a great night.